Thank you, Shannon. Thanks very much. And thanks for all the efforts that the National Cyber Security Alliance has done and undertaken on behalf of this campaign and on behalf of cybersecurity overall. Let me also thank the City of Seattle and the Seattle Public Library for this terrific setting. Homeland Security feels that in Seattle. We have a number of our agencies represented here, including the United States Coast Guard. Several representatives are with us this morning. But I want to join Howard, as a former soldier myself, someone who's married to a soldier, in saluting the young men and women, including Howard's son, who serve us every single day in some of the most difficult and remote and dangerous places around the world. Hua, thanks for what you do. So I'm here this morning to kick off the 7th Annual Cybersecurity Month. In many ways, given all the work that's been done in cybersecurity, 7 years represents an achievement. But also in many ways, this is the first year for the 7th time. Why? Because every year we face entirely new threats, and because we have not yet completely built the foundation and framework for us to confront these threats, and so we see them in some ways as if for the first time. We're working hard on what needs to be done. Threats to cybersecurity have been around almost as long as network computing. Hackers honing their skills, wise guys have been playing games, and criminals refining their craft. Today, however, there are more of them and there are more of us. The stakes are higher, the players are more numerous, and the rules of the game are being made up as we go along. There's little predictability and little warning. The threats are real, and we're all vulnerable. So how bad is the threat? Essentially, life on the internet is fundamentally insecure. Jeff Moss, founder of DEFCON, has said not one problem with respect to accessing, transiting, stopping, shopping, visiting, chatting on the internet, not one problem has been solved with respect to our security. Cyber criminals are stealing our information, our ideas, and our identities. Whether it's governments seeking strategic advantage or sophisticated underworld organizations moving drugs, weapons, people around the world, these groups are smart, persistent, and well-resourced, and they're robbing us blind. They are so sophisticated and so fast-paced that, in fact, some people have said that the threats we will face even in 4 years' time and the capabilities to deal with those threats have not even been invented. Some say it's so bad that it's virtually a war zone. Why hasn't the cyber public demanded better security? Well, maybe because when it comes to cyber, there's really people only come two types. Those who remember life before the internet, and those who don't know life any other way. Maybe we haven't demanded better security because those of us who remember life before the internet was invented wouldn't even know where to begin to suggest improved cybersecurity. And maybe those who don't know life any other way presume this is the way life is, and so we just have to adapt. But you and I know differently. We know we can build a safe cyber ecosystem that's good for us, good for business, and certainly better than the one we have today. So how can we protect ourselves? At the moment, we're only just keeping up. We haven't gotten ahead. Part of the answer to that question depends on how you view cyberspace itself. As I mentioned, some see it as a weapon. But I see cyber as the very endoskeleton of modern life. No geographical boundaries and genuinely distributed ownership. To ensure the integrity and fidelity of our information and our identities in cyberspace, security must be based on a framework in which individual users, industry, and government assume joint responsibility. We can't rely on single-point solutions. And while we must move faster than we have to date, we must also build a broad network in which the rules are clear, the validation tools are easy to use, and accountability is enforced. In other words, we have to change the rules of the game. And this begins with each of us. We must take the basic steps to ensure better security for our computers and for our cyber lives. We have to practice basic cyber safety. We need to connect with care, invent long and strong passwords, and update regularly. We need to stay current, back up, and think before we act. So let's make common cause on these common sense measures. We have to reduce the possibility that people will become victims. We have to reduce the potential that they will become vehicles through which to harm others. Each of us must do our to help make the internet a safe, secure, and resilient place where the American way of life thrives. Because ultimately, the habits of each of us affects the security of all of us. So thank you again. Thank you for all that you're doing to ensure cybersecurity. And let me leave you with one thought. Okay, well, 3. Stop, think, connect.